Yes, hello viewers, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. As I've been taking you through the previous videos, I've been taking you through plagiarism, how to avoid them, and many other things. Hoping you've understood all that very well. So in this video, I'm going to take you through what we call the documentary citations. Basically, what you can do when citing authors, in case you're given a research to do, and many other things. So today we are going to look at, maybe I'm going to do that, take you through the APA guide, whereby we shall see how to reference, how to do in-text citations, quote the authors, and how to do quotations. Then we shall also see cases where we have maybe author citations, we have cases where we have two or more authors, and also cases where we have complex texts and languages. So to start with, I'll take you through what we call the APA. I'll use the APA. How to reference, I'll use the APA, the 6th edition. Here to start with, the APA stands for the American Psychological Association, which is abbreviated as APA. And to start with, I'll take you through how to reference. So when you're referencing, you use the standardized style to acknowledge the source of information using your assignment. That's what you do. You want to make sure that the information that you're using is standardized of a standardized style, and to acknowledge the source of information using your assignment. It's so important to know someone else's ideas or idea that maybe you gather from other sources. It's very important to also keep that in mind when you're trying to do what we call citations. So next I'll take you through I'll take you through how to reference, how to do referencing. The first one I'll start with, we shall do it in what we call the in-text citations. So here you have someone else's ideas, or you put ideas from maybe another source, and you're trying to use it maybe to make a research or write out your own document. You have to do what we call the in-text citations. So here, for example, when you're maybe going through a paraphrase, what you still need to show the original, where the original information came from, and maybe the source where you got it from. So when citing in in-text citations within an assignment, we use the authors. We start with the name of the author or the editor's name, followed by the last name, followed by the year of the publication. So you start with the author's name or the editor's name, then you put the last name of the author, then followed by the year when the document was published or publication was done. So next thing we shall talk about is where, in cases where we have maybe 3, 4, or 5 authors, we see what we can do when we are citing. In cases where we have 3, 4, 5 authors, this is what we can do. So it's basically shown in the reference list. All this is displayed like when you've done a research, you've gone through everything. In your reference list, you should have that citation whereby you put the authors, the year, the name, the last name of the author, and the year which the document will publish. That's what you do. So in cases where we have 3, 4, or 5 authors, so when you're writing out a research or a document, in case we have the number was at 3, 4, or 5 authors, so what you do, we use the word etal, or you can say etal. It's basically a Latin word, whereby you use that, then you list down the authors in your reference list. So I'll go to cases where you have 6 or 7 authors. So when you're doing citations, in cases where you have 6 or 7 authors, so you cite only the last name of the first author, followed by etal or the etal each time you refer to your work. So what you do, I'll repeat and say, in cases where you have 6 or 7 authors, you cite only the last name of the first author, followed by that abbreviation etal or etal each time you refer to that work. So I'll also take you cases where we have 8 or more authors. So here, where you have 8 or more authors, we cite only the last name of the first author, followed by the abbreviation etal or etal each time you refer to your work. So that's what you do. So all this appears in your reference list. When you go to reference list, this helps when you, for example, you're given to do a research. When you go to your reference list, that's how you list, you cite down the authors. You start with that name, then you list them down. So I'll take you again to another category where we have like maybe in a document you're given to make research and you have a group of authors. So here, if it's in a group of authors, you basically use maybe commas to separate them. You put their last names, the years when they publish a specific document, then you use commas to separate names of the authors. You can use abbreviations or group others abbreviations to also separate the authors like that. So in text citations, that's what we basically do. So basically in citations, when you refer to a document, we have cases where there is only one author, or there are two authors, three or more authors, or a group of authors abbreviation. By the way, basically this comes from maybe multiple works by the same author or in the same year, or citing multiple sources in one parenthesis. That's basically what happens there. So when you're making in-text citations, you have to refer to a document that is really proven and you can't really leave it. You can't just, you have to refer to that document and your document should have proof that you've gotten this from a specific source. So I'll take you through why maybe you reference. So when you're referencing, you already normally use a standardized style or acknowledgement the source of the information using your assignment. It's also important to morally or legally acknowledge someone else's ideas or words that you have used. So here you have to follow morals as you're trying to cite the session. That's why you say you should be morally or legally to acknowledge someone else's ideas that you have used. So it's basically done in academic writing that encourages paraphrasing information that you have reached out to. Paraphrasing means like when you're rewording something you have read in your own words. You reword it and you put it in your own words or in someone else's words that you refer to. Referencing correctly enables you to, like you, the maker or the reader of your assignments, to locate the source of the information so they can verify the information for further for further on topic or for maybe a future reference like that. So you have to do this paraphrase, you put it in your own words so that somebody can easily refer to that work in some other time or in the future or to the document that you've stored. So the next thing I'll tell you is maybe some of the tips that you can follow while referencing. So everything you have cited in this appears in your reference list. So when you've written out your own research and maybe you've cited this certain information was done in such and such a year. So what you do, all this is listed in your reference list. At the end of the document, you list all this in your reference list, starting from the first author, the name of the author, the year when it was published. You go to the second one, you list them all. And if this is done, or you can either number them or you put them in alphabetical order, you list them. But this appears in your reference list at the end of the document or the research you're making. It appears at the end. So you list them all in a good manner, in chronologically in a good manner from the first to the last. And this makes your document organized and your reference list is organized. This also helps, makes it easier for someone to refer to your document, refer to your research for easy reading and also future use. That's basically what I can tell you about citation and how you can cite authors and do that when you're given research to do. Uh, So that's all I can tell you about that. Keep following for more videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also comment on my videos and report of my content. And you really keep to understand, you will always understand and get to know more from my videos. Thank you so much for listening and watching this video. Let's link up in the next video.